Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Young JDI Sports, back with another ESPN fantasy football video. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go down, smash the like button, comment, and make sure you guys do subscribe if you are completely new. We are over 100 subs, so let's go. That's a pretty big goal for the channel, and let's keep on growing. But in this video, I'm going to be ranking my top 15 running backs for the 2021 season, so make sure you guys do drop a like, and I hope you guys do enjoy. But yeah, we're not going to spend too much time going through each running back, but let's get into it. Alright, so right now you should be able to see the 11th through 15th running backs we have ranked. Starting at 15, we have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, I just don't like how in the position he is with the team is the main thing. Injuries from last season is kind of a side thing, but the main thing is they have no line. They just got Jamar Chase, so more passing seems to be. And I just don't see them winning a lot of games, which why would you run the ball much? And I could see him being a decent receiving back, but just over these other guys, I don't even see him being that great. But they also did lose Giovanna Bernard. So yeah, Mixon's going to get the volume. I just don't know if he's going to be productive with it. We've been just waiting for him to have a good season, and really quite just hasn't had it. Chris Carson's our 14th rated running back, I think, on ESPN. They're projecting him at 17, yeah, and they're projecting Joe Mixon at 14. But this is my rankings, not ESPN's. But I'm just doing that to compare. Chris Carson just signed at Seattle, re-signed in Seattle this season. Obviously, that's good. That means he's definitely gonna be the number one running back for the team. He was undrafted, and now look at him. He's the number one running back for Seattle, and he's definitely like a top 15 running back in my opinion in the NFL for fantasy. But I think he's just really solid receiving wise. Running, Seattle loves to run the ball. They try. Even though they're just made it for a passing team, Seattle tries to run the ball. Their O line's kind of weak, but with Russell Wilson dumping off a lot to Chris Carson, their connection, I feel like Chris Carson has just proved a lot more to everyone, and he just doesn't get the credit for it. He's done a lot, and still people are just, not rating him high. Yeah, Chris Carson's also getting picked around the 45th pick, so not bad at all. All right, as you can also see, 13th running back is the rookie running back for the Steelers, Najee Harris. Najee Harris fell in the perfect situation. This also worries me though, because last year we said Clyde Edwards-Helaire, going to Kansas City. Everyone thought that was a great situation too, but honestly, he did good in the beginning and kind of fell off. So I feel like Najee, it's kind of like the same thing, but I just feel like Najee's going to have a little bit better because the Steelers do run the ball a lot more and pass to running backs a lot more compared to the Chiefs. So Najee's 13th rated on my books. On ESPN, he's rated 13th as well. And he's getting picked around the 21st pick, so not bad at all. But yeah, me and ESPN are agreeing that Najee goes 13. At number 12, this is kind of a reach for me. Miles Sanders, I'm saying. I feel like Miles Sanders hasn't really got the credit he deserved, even though last season he's kind of hurt. He had 800 rushing yards in the past 2 seasons. In 2019, he had 50 receptions for 500 some pass receiving yards. So honestly, you look at that and you think, wow, it's pretty good. And Jalen Hurts is now the QB. So, I said when those QBs who don't have a lot of experience, what do? They dump it off to the running backs. They play it safe. And I think Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, if they just stay healthy, I think they're going to have a great connection. I could see a lot of runs for them, a lot of receptions for Sanders. So, honestly, I'm going high with Miles Sanders. He's rated actually 12th on ESPN's projections, but his ADP is all the way down. He's getting picked around the 31st pick. So, yeah, a little bit farther down, but I think he just is going to have an upside year. I think he's going to have a good year this year. Maybe he can be a top 10 running back by the end, but you never know. All right. And the last running back on the top 5 right here that you guys can see is Cam Akers. Cam Akers has a huge amount of upside. He didn't really show much last season. He wasn't really productive for the team. But I just think with the volume he's been getting, and I think he's clearly the number one running back for that team now. They really tried to get Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson carries in the beginning of the season. But definitely now, I think Cam Akers is going into this year being the number one running back for that team. And I think he's going to get a lot of volume receiving-wise and running-wise. Now they got a new situation with quarterback. Matthew Stafford's the quarterback, which I kind of do like that for him. I think Matthew Stafford's really smart and will dump it off to him a lot. He's rated, let's see, his rating is 10th. So I'm going, yeah, one spot. I'm bumping him down one spot. I mean, me and ESPN are pretty close, but yeah, they're rating him 10th. I'm rating him 11th. Nothing too crazy about that. And he's also getting picked around the 19th, so not too bad. Almost 20, so not bad at all. Around the 20th pick. All right. So yeah, those are for our 15 to 11th rated running backs. Now let's go from 10 to 6. All right, 10 to 6 running backs. Here they are right now on the screen. All right. So at number 10, I got Austin Eckler. He is one of my running backs and do not draft. I mean, obviously, just because he's a good player, you cannot, I mean, you can't put him in here. But what I mean by do not draft is just do not reach for him. Definitely, if I see Austin Eckler falling to me, like all the way. Let's see, where's he getting picked at right now? He's getting picked around the 15. If he's falling down to 20s, 25s, I'm definitely going to pick him over, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to go for the best overall, best available pick, you know what I mean? If it's not a best available situation, I'm probably not going to draft Eckler. If I have a lot of other guys, I'm probably going to draft someone else besides Eckler, just because I feel like he's not a really great runner. He's gotten hurt a lot last year and just throughout his past. And he's just without the receiving game, he's really not much. So I don't know. I just don't like him, Eckler, too much. So I'm rating him 10th. ESPN has rating him 8th. So kind of different right there. They're rating him 2 spots higher. And like I said, he's getting picked around the 15th pick. Not too bad. In our 9th running back, I'm going with Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb and Eckler were kind of hard to put which one where. But Nick Chubb is my 9th rated running back on ESPN. He's rated 11th, so I'm rating him a little bit higher. Definitely, it's going to be a hard situation with him and Kareem Hunt sharing snaps and stuff like that. And Nick Chubb is more of a runner. We all know that instead of a receiving running back. But still, I think Nick Chubb is just, as long as he doesn't get hurt, as long as he can stay healthy. Last season, he missed some time. He had 1,000 rushing yards, though, still. He got a lot of volume near the end of the season, not as much because of his injuries, but yeah, he missed from week 5 and then came back week 10, so decent amount missed, but he's had so many 100-yard rushing yards, and his highest receiving game was only 5 receptions, so not much, and he's had multiple games with only 1 to 0, so yeah, definitely not your receiving running back, but I think he makes it back with all the end zone touchdowns he gets and his rushing yards. So yeah, that is our 930 running back. Now let's go to 8th, which is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is on me, is rated 8th, but on ESPN he's rated, he's rated 9th. So I'm upping him up a little bit. I think Aaron Jones, as long as Aaron Rodgers plays, I'm making this on June 21st. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers is still not really situated on a team, but I definitely think if Aaron Jones and if Rodgers is there, Aaron Jones is going to do amazing. Even if Rodgers does leave and Jordan Love is the new QB, I could still see Aaron Jones having a good season, just because I always say with the younger QBs, always seems like the running backs always get those little dump off passes to play it safe, and Aaron Jones is perfect for the receiving game. We all know that. He's getting picked around the 15th. Let's see, last season he had 1,100 rushing yards and 47 receptions, 355 yards, so pretty good. He missed a couple weeks too. He's gotten injured a little bit, but just the Green Bay staff, when someone gets injured, they don't really let him come back easily. Look at Devontae Adams. Even like when Devontae Adams gets hurt, he's not out for a couple weeks. He's out for more, for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? It's just the thing with the Green Bay staff. I mean, it's always heard about that. So yeah, he missed a couple weeks, but still had a really good season. And I definitely think if Rodgers stays, he's going to be amazing. And they also lost Jamal Williams, which was like the receiving running back for them, even though Aaron Jones can receive the ball himself. But yeah, he is gone. So Aaron Jones is definitely the number 1 running back, but they have A.J. Dillon. But A.J. Dillon isn't really your receiving back necessarily, more of your third down running back. So I think, anyhow, Aaron Jones can have a good year. Number 7, though, we got Jonathan Taylor. All right, Jonathan Taylor really had a huge jump out last season with 1,169 rushing yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. I think he's honestly going to get a lot more receptions too this year than last year. He had 36 receptions last year. I think he might get less carries, but a little bit more receptions, which will make it even better. Just because Carson Wentz is new QB now, you know what I mean? Not Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, I think, in that situation, they ran the ball a lot. But yeah, he's rated 7th on ESPN's and my list. Let's see, and he's getting picked around the 9.6, almost 10th pick. So you can get him at the end. It seems like you can be getting him at the end of your first round, which is where I would get him if he's at the end of the first round. I'd definitely get him. You know what I mean? If he's not there, maybe you're a really good receiver or one of these other running backs. But I love Jonathan Taylor. I think he's gonna just keep on the breakout. You know what I mean? He's just amazing. I think he's gonna get more touches. Last week of week 17, he had 30 carries for 253 yards. I think that momentum is just gonna go into 2021. He's gonna be getting a lot of volume, a lot of yards, and have a good year. And he's very, very young. So number 6, we got Big Zeke. I think Zeke isn't gonna have. He's definitely gonna have a better year than last year. Last year, he only ran for 979 yards, 52 receptions still, and 338 yards. But he just really, didn't have much of a game since Dak left. Once Dak left, he really had no game over 20. I don't even think he did. His highest game without Dak was 19.4. But with Dak, he had 27 points, 22, 17.8, 20.5, 23.5. And he was struggled just to get in the end zone. From week 6 to the end of the season, he only had one rushing touchdown and one receiving touchdown. Had a couple 100-yard rushing games, but also got hurt in week 15 against San Fran. Wasn't playing that week. So he had some struggles last year, but also heard that Zeke is in his supposedly his best condition than he's ever been. So that's definitely really good to hear. But yeah, with Dak, and Dak is going to be back 100%. He's going to be a really good running back for sure. You know what I mean? Just a bad year. Just a bad year for the whole entire team. So for number 5 running back, I was debating to give Zeke or Kamara the edge. I gave it to Kamara. ESPN's rating Zeke at 6 and Kamara at 5, like mine. You know what I mean? I didn't really look at ESPN's. I'm just comparing them. You can't really, once you get in the top 10, you can't switch up stuff too much. You know what I mean? It's pretty much just straightforward. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, I think, is just a really skilled running back in the receiving game, passing game. You know what I mean? He's just a really good running back. Even running, he's not too bad. I don't think he's even had 1,000-yard rushing season, though. Last year, he had 932 rushing yards, but he had 83 receptions and 756 yards and 21 touchdowns combined. So that's what makes him so good. He can play both really well. And I also do think it depends on the situation with the Saints. I think if Taysom Hill plays, I honestly would probably bump Kamara down a little bit more, a lot more. I'd probably put Kamara at the 7 if Taysom Hill's QB. Because when Taysom Hill was QB last season, we can see when he was against Denver, he only had 6.2 fantasy points. So it was one of his worst weeks was when Taysom Hill was QB. So, but if Jameis Winston's QB, I definitely think that this can be a good scenario for him. Winston's really trying not to throw any interceptions, so passing to Kamara will save him a lot of interceptions. But I think Taysom Hill's also going to be used a lot in the end zone, red zone. You know what I mean? But I think it's fine still. I think Kamara's going to get those receptions he needs, those carries he needs, and I think he's going to be very productive for the 2021 season, which is why I'm rating him at our number 5. And he's getting picked around the 4.5. He's even getting picked over Saquon. His ADP is higher than Saquon, higher than Kelsey, Zeke, Devontae Adams, Taylor. So yeah, he's pretty high up there. You know what I mean? It seems like a lot of people are going Kamara early. Personally, I wouldn't go Kamara too early because I don't really know the QB situation yet. But I definitely think that if Jameis Winston is clarified the starter, I'll be a lot more confident with picking Kamara that early on. With our number 4 running back, I'm going Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley really hasn't had a ceiling season yet. So, you know what I mean? You could even say McCaffrey's had one, Henry's had one. You could say Cook's had one. You know what I mean? Saquon Barkley's very young. His injuries have really screwed up his career so far. Sadly, he played only 2 weeks last season. 2 weeks last season. He didn't even get to finish the second one. The first week was horrible. He only had 6 rushing yards. They did add Kenny Golladay to the Giants did, which I think honestly helps him a little bit draw off some players on him. So now they have to watch the edge too, not just Saquon. You know what I mean? So defenses are gonna have to be aware of Kenny Golladay because Kenny Golladay is, I think, a very underrated receiver, and I think Daniel Jones just needs to get more experience with Saquon. But I think Saquon's gonna have that high volume. You know what I mean? I just think he's a really good running back for sure. He's just super athletic. He knows how to play football really well. In his rookie year, let's see, I forget how much. I can only see his 2021 season. I could just see him definitely having a pop off year though. Like, you know what I mean? He really hasn't quite had one yet. In 2018, he had 1,307 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns, and he had 91 receptions. So yeah, I definitely think he's just kind of like that Christian McCaffrey, but just more like of a runner, not receiver. But yeah, I think that's why he's rated just so high, and that's why I'm rating him a fourth. Just the volume, the receptions. You know, what I mean, he's an athletic beast. All right. I'm rating Dalvin Cook at number 3. I mean, he's rated number 3 actually on ESPN projections as well. But the thing is that Saquon's rated 2 and Henry's rated 4, so mine are a little bit different from ESPN's. I'm going Dalvin Cook at 3. I just made a video of do not draft him. I mean, do not draft. You don't just let him pass. If you're at the pick 5 or 6 and CMC, Henry, Saquon, Kamara, and even Zeke are gone, or even if like just you're picking, who are you picking, Zeke or Dalvin Cook? Probably Cook, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you have 5 running backs gone, or even 4 running backs gone, and you have Dalvin Cook there, and I'm at the 5 or 6, I'm probably going to pick Dalvin Cook, even though I'm not a huge fan of him, just because best overall available. You can't pass that talent or that upside you could have. You know what I mean? If he's there and you're picking Zeke or Kamara over Dalvin Cook, you might just lose your league, you know what I mean? But I'm going to try to stay away from Cook because he's getting picked around the 2.7. I'm definitely not picking him with my second pick or even third. I think I'd rather have Saquon, honestly, over the Cook, and I'd rather have Derrick Henry over Cook. But yeah, he's rated third on ESPN projections and is getting around the 2.7. So second highest running back he's getting picked. I mean, which makes sense though. Dalvin Cook had a crazy year last year with 1,557 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, 44 receptions, and only 1 receiving touchdown. I just don't like him this year. I don't really like the whole entire just Vikings offense. I just don't see how you keep Justin Jefferson, Thielen, and Dalvin Cook all really productive. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. All right, so he's my 3rd rated running back, and at number 2, we got the man himself, Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry's rated 4th projected on ESPN in the PPR leagues. Just, you know what I mean? It makes a little bit of sense. He only had 19 receptions last year. I also did see him practicing receiving more in the offseason right after the season, so definitely good to see. But he had 2,027 rushing yards and 17 rushing touchdowns. Even if he does go down, yeah, say he gets 1,500, 1,600 rushing yards and like 14 or less touchdowns around there. You know what I mean? You're still good with picking him. But I think he's going to get a lot more receptions this year. And I honestly, just because, you know what I mean, I feel like he's just trying to practice that. But also, I think that he's just a beast. He never gets hurt really. He's always very, very consistent. And also, though, they added Julio Jones, which we don't know if it's going to hurt or help him. Some people say hurt him because, you know, I mean, less volume for Derrick Henry, less attempts, but also could help him because, like we said about the Kenny Golladay situation in Saquon, adding Julio makes the defense play a little bit more spread out. Watch the outside, have to guard Julio a little bit more. So Derrick Henry has a little bit more room in the inside, so more rushing yards, you know what I mean? So Derrick Henry could repeat another 2,000-yard season. I mean, maybe. You never know. It could really happen. Derrick Henry gets a bunch of volume on the team, and he's getting picked around the fourth pick. Not too bad. And he's rated 4th for ESPN. But our number 1, of course, you can't really do much about this. It's just CMC. In 2019, he had a crazy year. You know what I mean? What are you supposed to say? You just don't pick. You know what I mean? You can't rate him. You cannot rate him at the number 1. CMC is a beast. Last year, he really had a struggle. Played only 2 weeks, had 28.5, and then 24, almost 25 points. Then he missed from week 3 to 8, came back week 9, had 18 carries, had 37.1 fantasy points, and then missed from week 10 all the way to the end of the season. So, yeah, his injuries kind of screwed him up, but he's just the number 1 rated running back. You know what I mean? He's getting picked around the 1.4. So, yeah, obviously he's getting picked around in the first pick. You know what I mean? It's just CMC. If you draft him, if you do not draft him and you miss out on that huge season he has, you could literally lose your fantasy season. You know what I mean? So you got to keep him, all right? In 2019, though, he had 387 rushing yards, and in receiving, he had 1,000 receiving yards. So That's insane. He had 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. That's why you have to pick Christian McCaffrey with your number one pick. But these are my top 15 rated running backs for the 2021 season. Hopefully you guys did like the video. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff. But make sure you do drop a like, subscribe if you are new, comment which running back's your favorite on this list. I'm gonna be doing a receiver one sometime soon, and maybe even like quarterback, tight ends, stuff like that. But yeah, we might even do one later in the season, near the beginning of the season. This is June. A lot of stuff can change throughout the summer in NFL. So make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe. Let's keep on the grind. But until next time, your boys out. Peace. Setting up a screen.